Hello and welcome guys to my YouTube channel. In this video we're going to be solving mixed exercises on percentages. If you haven't watched the previous videos about percentages, I would highly recommend that you go watch them first and then attempt these exercises. Okay, so we're going to start with question 1. For each of those exercises you should pause the video, try to solve it on your own, and then check the solution. Okay, so John is going to buy a motorcycle. The total cost of the motorcycle is £4,500 plus VAT at 15%. For VAT, by the way, if you don't know, it's value added tax. So it's always a percentage increase. So keep that in mind. So we obviously have a motorcycle with this cost, and there's a 15% percentage increase. Now, John pays a deposit of £2,000. He pays the rest of the total cost in 5 equal monthly payments. Work out the amount of each monthly payment. Okay, so in such questions, it helps to think backwards. So we want to find out how much is he going to pay a month. So let's say you had to pay $2,000 and you had to pay them during like 5 months, so in equal payments. So you would divide 2,000 by 5 and get 400. So this is your monthly payment. So in this case, well, we want to find out what's the rest of the total cost, right? If we find this out, we can divide by 5 and find the monthly payment. So in order to find the rest of the cost, we need to find the total cost. We don't know the total cost of the motorcycle. We only know that it's 4,500 and we have the value added tax at 15%. So we're going to use the percentage increase rule to find out the new cost of the motorcycle plus the tax. So percentage increase rule is going to be, as we know, so new is equal to old multiplied by 1 plus r over 100, and we use the plus because this is an increase. So the new price, we don't know it. The old price is 4,500 multiplied by 1 plus r is 15 over 100. This is straightforward. We just plug the entire thing on our calculator. So this is going to be, okay, so we get £5,175. Okay, so this is the total cost plus the tax. Okay, so we know that Joan pays a deposit of £2,000. So 5,175 minus 2,000, which will give you 3,175. So this is actually the rest of the cost. This is the amount. This is the money that he did not pay yet. So now he's going to pay this money in 5 equal monthly payments. So we're going to go ahead and divide this by 5, and we will get, let me plug it on my calculator. $635. So this is the amount of money that he will pay in every monthly payment. This is the final answer. Moving on to the next question. Okay, let's take a look here. In 2020, the population of London was 8.98 million. This was 13% of the total population of the United Kingdom. Work out the total population of the UK in 2020. Okay, so now you need to understand, this is not a percentage increase or decrease question or percentage profit or loss, obviously. This is a very simple application on percentages. So now here's the thing. We know that the population of London was 8.98 million. right? So firstly, let's go ahead and transfer that to 8,980,000. We did this by simply multiplying 8.98 by 1 million. Okay, so this was the population of London. Now, this was 13% of the total population of the UK. So essentially, how did we get this number? It's by finding 13% of the UK population. Now, as you remember, in our introductory videos, we explained how to find something as a percentage of. So obviously, 300% multiplied by UK population gave us 8,980,000, which is the population of London. So this is what the question is explaining. I hope this was clear. Now let's solve this. So the easiest thing is to just divide by 13%, and you can just plug it on the calculator. Or if you like to write it as a fraction, then it's going to be 13 over 100 multiplied by the population of the UK equal to 8,980,000. And then in this case, you will multiply by 100 over 3. This will cancel, over 13. This will cancel out this fraction and give you your answer. And now we're just gonna, so whichever method works for you, both will give the same answer. And we're going to plug this on our calculator. And so we get that the population of the UK is 69,76,923. Of course, he asked us to give this to 3 significant figures. So your final answer should be, let's count. So this is the first significant, this is the second significant, and this is the third significant. So we have a 7 on the right, so it will be rounded up to 1, and everybody else will turn to a 0. So we will have 69 million and 100,000. This is the answer rounded to 3 significant figures. Okay, let's take a look at question 3. Anna owns a bakery. Anna's profit on birthday cakes in 2021 was $800. This was a decrease of 25% on her profit in 2020. Work out Anna's profit on birthday cakes in 2020. Okay, so now don't be tricked into thinking this is a percentage profit question. Just because you see the word profit or loss does not mean it's definitely that. So all we know right now is that Anna's profit in 2021 was 800, okay? So our profit here is $800. And this was a decrease of 25%. So this profit right here was a decrease on her profit in 2020. So in 2020, she had a profit and it's unknown. So we're just going to put X. And there had been a decrease by 25%. And we ended up with $800 profit in 2021. So the question is asking, what was Anna's profit in 2020? So we want to find X. So this is a percentage decrease question. So we're going to use the rule, which is basically new is equal to old multiplied by 1 minus R over 100. Now, so the new here is obviously the 800. This is the current year. And the old is unknown, and R is 25. Now let's plug in our numbers. So 800 is equal to old 1 minus 25 over 100. As we've said before, it's easiest to evaluate this inside. It will give you 0.75 on your calculator. And then you're simply going to divide 800 by 0.75. divide both sides. This cancels out, and we get the original being, plug this on your calculator, and you will get 1066.6 recurring. So we're just gonna round this to 3 significant figures. So this is first significant, second, and this is the third. And this will become 7. This is 0. So $1,070. This is the profit in 2020. Okay, let's take a look at question 4. Let me erase this part. Okay. Now, so Maria wants to buy a new laptop. She's going to get a loan of £900 to help pay for the laptop. Okay. Maria will have to pay back the 900 plus interest of 10%. So she has a 10% interest on this 900. She will pay this back in 10 equal monthly installments. How much money will Maria pay back each month? Okay. So again, so we know that she's going to pay it in 10 equal monthly installments. So we first need to find out the amount of money that she has to pay back. Now, well, we have an interest of 10%, so we can easily find the amount of money with the percentage increase question, with the percentage increase rule. So new is equal to old, and 1 plus r over 100. The new, we don't know it. The old is £900, and 1 plus 10 divided by 100. And you can just go ahead and plug the entire thing on your calculator. You will get 990. So this is the loan, 900 plus a 10% interest. Okay. So now that we know she's gonna pay it back in 10 equal monthly installments, we can just go ahead and divide. So 990 divided by 10. I miswrote this. Let me just. You get 99 pounds. This is the amount she's gonna pay each month for 10 months. Moving on. Question 5. Emma buys and sells smartphones. Okay. Last month, Emma bought 60 smartphones. She paid £250 for each smartphone. Okay. So we can already know that if we want to know the total amount of money she spent on this, it's 60 multiplied by 250. Let's see what the question wants. She sold 45 of these smartphones at a profit of 25% on each smartphone. And she sold 15 of them at a profit of 10%. Emma's target last month was to sell all 60 smartphones for a total of at least £18,000. So she wanted to make that much money. Did Emma reach this target? Okay, let's see if she reached this target. So we have 60 smartphones, and firstly she bought them for £250 each. Now she sold 45 of them at a 25% profit. This is an increase. And she sold 15 of them at a 10% profit. Okay, so let's find out the total amount of money that she made. Now, in order to find that, we're going to go ahead and simply say, so firstly, for the 45 phones, we know that she sold them at a 25% profit. So this is a 25% increase over the original price of the phone. So the old is 250, the new is unknown, that's what we want to find, and the R is 25. So we're going to go ahead and say new is equal to 250 multiplied by 1 plus 25 over 100. And you can just go ahead and plug this on your calculator, and it will give you 312.5. We keep this accurately. Okay, now for this is how much she sold 45 phones. So this is the price of each phone from the 45 phones. Okay. Now, as for the other 15 phones, she made a 10% profit. So basically, the new price for each of those new phones is going to be, again, 250 multiplied by 1 plus, instead of 25, this is going to be 10 over 100. And this will be equal to, again, just going to plug it on the calculator, 275. Okay, so this is the price of each phone from the 15 phones. So let's see how much money she made in total. So 45 phones, each was sold at 312.5 pounds, plus 15 phones, each sold at 275. And you can just go ahead and plug all of this on your calculator. So the total amount of money she made was 18,187.5. Her target was 18,000. So did she reach? Yes, she did. And the justification would be because 18,187.5 is bigger than 18,000. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question 6. Linda buys a television. 15% value added tax is added to the price of the television. Okay. Linda then has to pay a total of 460 pounds. What is the price of the television with no VAT? Okay, so we know that this price, the total, $460, is basically the original price, and there was a 15% tax added. Okay, so we want to find the price of the TV without the VAT. So this is again a percentage increase question. So we're going to go ahead and say new, old, and R. Now, our new, this 460 pounds is the new. This was after the tax was added. The old is unknown. It's what I want to find. It's the price without the value added tax. And R is 15. And go ahead and write the formula. 460 is equal to old multiplied by 1 plus 15 over 100. We're using plus because this is a tax interest, so it's going to be increase. And evaluate the inside, it will give you 1.15. And divide by 1.15 on each side. So plug on your calculator, 460 divided by 1.15, and we get 400 pounds. So this was the cost before adding the tax. After you added it, it's 460 pounds. Okay, moving on to the next question. This is the last question. Okay, so in 2010, Sarah bought a car. In 2015, Sarah sold the car to Paul. She made a profit of 15%. In 2020, Paul sold the car for £13,500. He made a loss of 12%. Work out how much Sarah paid for the car in 2010. So, okay, so this is one of those questions where there's multiple steps to it. So it's always best if we write down a timeline. So we have 2010, and we have 2015, and then we have 2020. Now, in 2010, Sarah bought a car. we don't know the price of the car, so we're just going to say this is X, unknown. Now, in 2015, she sold the car to Paul and made a profit of 15%, okay? So if we were to find out, let's say, what was the car sold for in 2015? It was X plus 15%. Okay? Now, in 2020, Paul sold the car for $13,500. Okay? And it says here he made a loss of 12%. So right here, there was a loss of 12%. So if we trace this properly, so we can know now that what happened here was there was a gain 15% in the number itself. Like let's say this was she bought it for 5,000 and then she sold it to him for 7,000, so she made a gain, and then he sold it for a cheaper price and made a loss. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and find out how much she paid in 2010. Okay, so in order to find that, we don't know anything right here right now, so we need to trace back. We need to go back from here. Okay, so here's the thing. So do we know how much Paul paid for the car in 2015? We don't. But we know that in 2020 he sold it for 13,500, and this was a loss of 12% from the price he bought it for in 2015. So this is old and this is new basically. All right? So new is 13,500. The old is unknown and the loss is 12. The percentage is 12. So this is a percentage loss case right here. So we're going to go ahead and say 13,500 is equal to old multiplied by 1 minus 12 over 100. And of course, we're using a minus because this is a loss. You can plug this on your calculator. It will give you 0.88. Now we're going to divide by 0.88. And we get, just plug this on your calculator. Okay, so the old price is 15,340.90 recurring. Okay. So this was the price he paid for the car in 2015. Now, what do we know? We know that this price was actually a 15% increase over the original price in 2010. So now we're in a new scenario where this is the new price. So let's go back here. So now we know that this is 15,340 almost. And now we have this being the old price, this being the new price, and the gain percentage increase are equal 15. So we're going to go ahead and solve this now. So 15,340.90 recurring is equal to the old price multiplied by 1 plus 15 over 100. Okay. Of course, again, we're using plus because this is a percentage increase. Now, again, we're going to evaluate what's inside the bracket. It gives us 1.15. And now you divide by 1.15. We get the old price being, let's see, 13,339.92. Now the question did not specify a rounding, so we're just gonna round it to 3 significant figures. And so the final answer is this first significant, second significant, and this is the third significant. So it's $13,300. Okay, so if you understood this, it's good. If you didn't quite get it, I will do a quick recap. So again, we have a car in 2010, 2015, and 2020. And again, so we don't know how much money it costed Sarah to get this car in 2010, but she sold it at a 15% gain in 2015. A whole new number here, Y, okay? And then Paul sold the car in 2020 at a 12% loss. Now, what we were given is that when he sold it at a loss, he sold it for 13,500. So through knowing that there was a 12% loss and that this is the amount of money he sold it for, we know that this is the new price and this is the loss, R equal 12. And through it, we were able to find the price he paid for it in 2015, which was around 15,340. So now we knew the amount of money he paid for it right here. Okay. And then knowing the amount of money that he paid for it, we know the amount of money that Sarah sold it for in 2015. So at a 15% gain. So now we know the new amount at a 15% gain, and now we can find the old amount. Okay. Again, through the percentage increase rule. And through it, we found that eventually that Sarah originally bought the car for around 13,300 pounds. I hope this was clear. Thank you for watching.